Well, I guess this is how this will work now. Sometimes we have sound, sometimes we don't, and we don't know why. So we'll just talk all over this intro and whatnot, and
you heard it already several times.
yeah,
I think.
you know what's going on here. This is Ziona, and that's Ziona, and the other one is Slaygon. That weird dude there bouncing around, and yeah, that's one of the racks in here in the server room. That's us again. Slay Radio, home of Commodore 64 remixes. Sometimes we even play Amiga. Sundays specifically with I0.
Yes. And are we on now? Hi.
Now we are on.
Hi everyone. It's the 19th of June, a Thursday as usual.
Good.
And also one day before Midsummer.
It is indeed.
Which I totally thought it's Saturday, but apparently it is Friday tomorrow. So big celebration
and
with the Swedes.
And because of this confusion, I thought she was leaving for Hungary tomorrow. But she said, well, are we barbecuing on Midsummer? I said, well, yes.
Yes.
But I need to leave.
Why? Do you have any programs on Saturday?
No.
No.
Are you confused?
I was confused until I figured out
I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
What confused both of us.
Yeah, but now we are not confused anymore. Now everything is crystal clear.
Klistron clear.
Klistron clear, yes. That's what's happening.
Yay, automatic title updater worked. That's great.
Did it? That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do requests around here, Commodore C64 remix related, Amiga remix related, sometimes a little bit of consoles and stuff, not stuff, stuff, and such.
And we can't talk today.
No, apparently not.
What kind of radio show was that?
Well, you know, when it starts the way it does, it goes the way it goes.
There's a reason why we have a warm-up hour.
For requests, if you want to hear something specific, go to slay.radio/request and put that in there.
Yes. And yes, the summer has really kicked in. So I think since the last show we can say that now it really feels like summer, even in Sweden, which is really weird. But, well, usually sometimes it's the best day of the year when there is the Swedish summer going on. But, okay, best month. Okay, sometimes I should say best month, but not more than that.
But sometimes it is the best month.
Yeah, sometimes. But yeah, it's Midsummer, and Midsummer is always a big thing with Swedes. And well, we talk about this probably every year when it happens, but I still can't help wondering about this every year because I didn't get used to celebrating Midsummer, but it's pretty cool because we have a day off tomorrow, so that's also very nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, and what else you can say about Midsummer?
A lot of schnapps.
Oh, I should have guessed. Amongst the lot of beer, the next station is a lot of schnapps.
The beer is not necessary, but the schnapps is.
Yeah, but there is no celebration when there is no beer. Am I right?
Well, technically Midsummer could be that, with only schnapps.
Nah, tell me you don't have beer.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
Also, I have dry cider for you.
Yes. Oh, dry cider?
Yes.
Wow, you are an angel. That is so nice.
Angel.
Call my name.
Angel, bring my cider.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, I guess they didn't have ginger beer.
They did not. I actually asked.
Unbelievable.
And the person I asked to said, let me just have a look. No, let me go check with someone else. And she comes back and says, well, do you want the long or the short answer? I said, either one. And, well, you get them both. No.
Wow. At least he or she had a humor. That's nice.
Yeah,
Well,
midsummer humor.
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess.
I guess it works. I guess. So, well, there I looked around the remixes and there is only one Midsummer related.
Highlander?
No,
Oh, no.
it is not, but it's a remix made by Dees. So, Zaini, if you are listening, hi. And that is called Outrun Splash Wave. What else? It's very summery when it comes to that. Vintage Midsummer Edition. So, shall we give it a spin?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, then I'm not going to play it.
Okay.
Right. It's not dumb, not that dumb.
It was dumb.
Yes, but it
And,
was cute. It's a cute Outrun Splash Wave remix, vintage Midsummer edition.
Yes, and also the imagery you saw on the screen there was posted by Sami.
Where did he post it? Because I completely missed it.
Seniors.
Oh,
thingy,
that's why I didn't see it. Okay, too many channels.
Yes.
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 Are you checking them daily? Because now you have time to do
check,
that.
Everything continuously. So about 1 o'clock today he posted that. Berlusconi has a good point. Sounds like this should have been an accordion. And I agree.
Totally.
That would have made it even more midsummery.
Definitely. It's not my favorite instrument, but it has its place.
Yeah,
in
like
time.
a violin, a solo violin, like a single violin accompanying the accordion. That would have been very nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But this was very nice as well. Very chill.
Yeah.
I'd say that this is the sit back, relax, and enjoy the summer edition.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said that we should be more outside, but then I realized you were outside probably the whole time now because you do gardening stuff.
I do. We have a garden.
I know, and I have a job.
I think the garden is still out there even though you have a job.
Unfortunately, that's another job. And I don't like that. Yeah, it's fun to talk about this because I just chatted with my teammates about the fact that Swedes like to have summer houses. Like, I think this is like so ingrained in this nation that somehow you have to have a summer house somewhere, I don't know, around the coast or somewhere else far away from your city.
Or a lake. I prefer a lake to to the seaside coast.
I'm not sure about that.
Warmer water and not salt water.
Right, and a lot of mosquitoes. Amazing.
Not necessarily.
No, they like still water.
Yes, but a lake is not necessarily still water.
Okay.
It's not usually where they want to kind of hatch and whatnot. It's like small ponds, like shallow ponds and things like that.
Okay, because I thought that well, the definition of lake is still water. It's not moving. Therefore, it's not a river.
You do know that lakes can be quite big.
Yeah, they can.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes, and
still they are not moving.
And the reason they still are lakes is usually because there's water inlet somewhere and a water outlet somewhere, which means the water moves.
Oh, well, okay.
Not very fast, mind you, but still, it's still a lake.
Well, technically. Okay. But yes, it's just mind-blowing with this summer houses kind of thing.
Let's create ourselves some more work.
That's what I thought. Like, you need to maintain that house, and if you are not there for half year, the first day, or at least first 2 days, when you go there is to clean up everything.
Yeah.
Like, and why would you want to go to the same place over and over again?
Because then it's all yours.
Yeah, I understand. Like, that's the ownership kind of factor.
Yeah,
like,
and it's
I guess.
Nice. It's exactly the way you want it to be because you put it together the way you want it to be.
Yeah, okay, that I also can accept. And also it costs way less money, which is pretty cool, I guess. It's economical to have one summer house.
Yeah, and like I said, if it has all the things that you would want from a place you would travel to anyway, then all the better.
But then again, about real estates, there are some strict rules that you can't really have a lot of them here. So how do they cope with that? Like, if you have two real estates,
you can have them. You can have as many as you can pay for.
Yeah, but it's there are like some twisted rules here in Sweden about owning real estates.
Subletting is what you're thinking about, or renting it out to someone.
Okay.
Those rules are very strict, yes, but if you have the money, you can have as many as you want.
So you can have several real estates, but don't you dare to sublet them to someone else because then you cannot have them.
They're yours. No, you can have them. But you can't rent them out for profit unless you have a specific structure set up for it.
Yeah.
Like your landlord type thing, then different rules come into play. But as a private person, you can't like just buy a shit bunch of houses and sublet them for extraordinary what is it called? Extravagant addition to the pay. What is it called? My brain today.
I don't know, but some other people will help you if they are Swedes.
But if they are sweet.
If they are Swedes. Yeah. Now maybe we should check what's on the request list, because uncount user added to the request field till example RoboCop 3. Till example. And well, with RoboCop 3, here's the thing. There are 2 versions that are red-faced. Would you guess which ones?
The ones with a very constipated stomach, and they really need to get it out.
Okay. Well, one is Lagerfeld. That version we know very, very well and love that, of course, as well. And there's another one that is newer, but amongst all RoboCop 3s, this is the newer one that has the best rating, basically. And it's called RoboCop 3 Everything You Want by Eivind Sommersten.
Fully dum.
It's so funny to compare this version with the RoboCop 3 we know from Lagerfeld, right? One is so upbeat and one is so relaxed, and it's such a contrast between the two.
Yeah, with this one, it felt like started off like a disco, like a modernized disco thing from the 70s or whatever, and then like 90s pop type vocals on top of it. It worked.
It work, yeah, it definitely did. So, and good evening, Romy, she is listening.
Hello. Also, hello to whatever, Morten Ronge, Bolo Berlusconi Luna, whatever, Matricado, I0. Who else do we have on there? No, I think those are on the ones on Devil Bat. On Discord. If you want to join us on Discord, you can do that by going to slay.radio/discord. And Dragonix is typing on there too.
Dragonix, I like that name.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should change mine to Slaygonix. Micron B says, "Oh my God, what is this madness?" Well, hi, I'm Slaygon, and this is my
Ziona.
default setting. Yeah, I think this says kind of whatever.
Like we need your support.
She needs your support. She's alone in here with me.
Yeah. Sometimes I need some mental support and everything that is. But yes, otherwise it's fine.
It's fine.
It's all good.
It's all good.
I'm not reading this from paper. And it's not a marketing advertisement.
You can't prove that. She doesn't have today's newspaper in front of her. This
That's
is all
true.
just a very scripted, pre-recorded thing.
Oh God, yeah, probably. That's a nice request, Dragonix. We will get there.
Yes, it is.
Yes, definitely. So,
it affected me with a yawn.
when was the last time when you have been at a proper midsummer party?
Proper. Define proper.
Like proper, like a lot of people and herring and strawberry cake and what is the default food for the midsummer parties out there?
I guess for like a proper big one with a shit bunch of people and a cabin in the woods kind of a thing. That would have been 20 years ago when Boz moved here. We went to Varberg and went out into the woods with a bunch of people.
Like 20, 30 of them?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice, okay. And then since then, no party, no gathering, no other invitations?
Sure, but proper midsummer party. Proper as in like not a proper Swedish one. I don't think I've ever been to.
Oh, so you were not dancing around the fallow tree?
Oh no. I've walked past a party that did that and thought I cannot leave fast enough.
Oh my God. It would be so fun to see you at a party like this with all the
small frogs.
All the small frogs, yes, and also the music. I think that must
Små grodorna är lustiga att se.
Must be very dansbandy music that you love.
No, it's not very dansbandy.
No, it's not.
No, it's kind of the thing I just sang. It's not very dansbandy.
No, not that one, but probably there are some songs playing.
It's more like folk songs and that sort of thing.
Well, dance band is just a step away from the folk songs in modern format.
Proton has a good point. I brought some people here so they won't get bored. And what's happening? Both hosts yawning.
Yeah, well, oh my God, that's
Yeah,
sorry about that, Proton.
It's a great start. The system even got so broken and bored that it decided not to play any sound.
Yeah,
So,
Morten Ronge says it's an age thing, which is very true because we just got older, like a year older the previous week. And the Slaygon was this week actually, because it was Monday when he became a 9-year-old for the 6th time.
Yes, and I need my gubblur.
Your gubblur?
Yes.
What is a gubblur?
A gubbe is an old man.
Yeah.
A lur means taking a nap.
Oh, didn't you take a nap the whole day? You could technically do that anytime.
Technically could have, but I kind of was a little bit busy, as you may have noticed.
Well, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
But technically you still have a flexible kind of...
Legs.
Flexible legs, yes, that too, definitely. But
and I0 says 1 year older in a week. That's fast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? And for both of us, like, that's also shocking. Well, technically.
Technically shocking.
Technically shocking. Let's check what's on the request list. So some non-boring elements are there in the show as well. Katluna requested BeeZerk and Let's Fly Skyhigh.
I prefer flying drunk, but okay. Hello, Anonymous. already whistled that.
You're too slow. Still too slow. Well, you almost mastered it in the end. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. That works. Nice. Yes.
Nice.
It feels also like a summery song for me.
Very much, yes.
Yeah. So, thank you,
Yes.
Luna, for requesting this.
Very nice. Also nice with some BeeZerk.
BeeZerk. How is our summer starting?
BeeZerk.
How is your summer starting, Slaygon?
With a lot of gardening, but I'm kind of trying to clump everything in together in as short of a time as possible, so I don't need to do anything for the rest of the summer.
Oh, okay. So that's how you do that.
Except the upper lawn that I need to do every couple of weeks or so.
Okay, well,
But that's like a 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
that's what
thing,
he does,
so.
and he also makes me feel bad because, well, I'm technically working during the day hours, and he is just going out and doing stuff, and then sometimes you don't know like how bad you are supposed to feel when this happens, and yeah.
You're never supposed to feel bad.
No, not bad. Bad.
Bad.
He's bad.
He's bad.
So yeah. So it's all of a sudden he became like a gardening maniac.
Yeah, well,
He never was, but
like I said, once we moved here, I kind of vowed to myself never to let the garden go as bad as in the old house.
Okay.
So,
I mean, technically, there wasn't a lot of things in the old house to take care of. There was a lawn and
that
the
I
smaller.
didn't take care of.
Well,
There was the
sometimes you
shrubbery, which I didn't take care of.
well, sometimes we did cut
Yes,
the lawn. I even did.
Yes,
sometimes.
when it was too late.
Well,
and it was
okay.
a big ass struggle to even get the lawnmower to go, I don't know, a few meters. So, no.
I am terribly sorry.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Okay, well. Okay.
Yeah, so whenever I don't hold my own promises, it's her fault. Always.
Berlusconi says, yeah, gardens, my latest excuse not to make any more remixes. Any recommendation for a robot lawnmower? Not too expensive, but good.
We have a Husqvarna. It's not very good. Cost about 1,700 euro. It kind of runs over its own delimiter cable every now and then, but it's been a couple of years now since it did that, so I guess it's grown in properly now.
And it's continuously circling around like a little animal. And yeah, I'm wondering, like, does it stop for the night or it doesn't?
Yes,
it does stop for the night.
Yes, but the clock is skewed on the device. It's not connected it's not a smart mower or anything. It kind of goes until it hits one of those delimiter wires. Then it kind of turns randomly one way or another and a certain number of degrees randomly too. And then just keeps going back and forth until it's time or the battery runs out or it's time to go to bed, in quotes, back to the house. But the clock is skewed on that. It's supposed to stop at 9 o'clock in the evening, but it keeps going until like 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So I need to reset the internal clock on it.
Okay, well, yeah, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning trimming grass. Doesn't sound like something you want.
It's fine. It's very, very silent, so it doesn't matter much.
So
we have a pretty big distance between the houses, so it's fine. Nobody really cares.
So what's the device's name?
Yeah, Nardog is asking what the mower's name is. It's Ava. Our robot vacuum cleaner is called Wally.
Yes.
Oh, well, E.
But they never can come together because one is outside and one is inside. So
Yes.
this is so sad.
Very sad.
At least Wally and Eve in the movie could come together.
Well, kind of.
Well, kind of. At least they could be in the same room.
Yeah, well, if we put the vacuum cleaner out on the lawn, it will try to get somewhere, and then maybe they will meet one day.
Aww, what a platonic kind of love is this?
Well, a plateau, Nick.
Platonic, yeah. Platonic. FS requested. Michele Cinque Re-Megamix, and I think we never heard this one.
Maybe not.
I don't remember.
I do not recognize the name, no.
Me neither, so I got curious.
Yeah, I don't think we've played that one yet.
Yeah, so it's time.
And yes, I have heard that one before. I just forgot the name of the remixer.
I did not recall this one. Somehow I missed it, which is a shame because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original Sid by Edwin Van Santen, I guess. Well, a bunch of original
so
composers on that one, actually.
There was a Megamix Sid, and then
Yes.
this was the... Oh, that's cool.
Yes, by Van Santen.
Nice. Okay, that's good to know. So, Michele Cinque. Now we will register this.
So, first one, PCW Tune 88 by Van Santen himself. Number 2 was Ace 2 by Rob Hubbard. Savage Tune 3 by Jeroen Tel. R-Type Tune 1 by Chris Josberg. Dynamic Range by Michael Hendricks. And number 6 by number 6 is Magical Sound Shower from the arcade game Outrun.
Coolio. Nice.
Yes, very nice. Thanks for the link there, Luna.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
yes, if you click that Slay Radio link, you will notice there's a bunch more Sid info in there nowadays.
Yeah, like all of them.
All
All
of
of the
it,
info
indeed.
that is available is
Yes.
on the Slay Radio page now.
Yes, and a bunch of Remix 64 shouts and votey, clicky icons and stuff and doohickeys.
Stuffs and doodas.
Yes.
I
What
know,
else
not stuffs.
Did I have on there? Oh yeah, links to Deep Sid. Bunch of stuff.
Nice.
All
And
the stuffs.
I didn't know that Matricado is working on an Amiga game, adventure game, and on an adventure game engine, almost adventure game, and he is working on the same image in PyPaint, which is Deluxe Paint for Windows, and Photoshop at the same time, which is really pretty cool. You just have the same image open. Like nowadays it works like this between the Adobe applications as well, but
Not on the
this-
Amiga.
yeah, not on the Amiga. So this is something nice. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking actually,
Oh no.
I know it hurts sometimes.
Will it hurt me?
Oh, it always hurts you. Yeah, it's not even a month now until Arrow Party, where the remix competition takes place, as you know.
Yes, and we already have the first entry.
Aha, we have the first entry. That's pretty cool. And who is that?
I cannot say.
No, you cannot. Okay. I missed this info. Why did I miss this info?
I don't know. Don't you follow your own Hungarian-speaking channels? Even I can read that or figure it out.
Uh-huh. I see how many messages I have missed now. I kind of need to get back to this.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like there is some relevant info there that I completely missed. But this is pretty cool, having the first entry. And wait, I have a guess. It's Dr. Future.
You have a guess?
I have a guess because he is always the early bird.
Yeah.
Is it Dr. Future?
BeeZerk is always a bit early on those as well. If he enters, he usually enters pretty early.
Aha, that's great news. But is it him? Is it
Is it
Dr.
Eivind?
Future? Is it Eivind? Oh,
Is it
yeah, it
Fluke?
can be Eivind. And
Is
also,
it Fluke?
yeah, also it can be Fluke. Lately, he's more silent than usual, though. Maybe live happens. Yeah,
Maybe.
it does happen sometimes. I still have a few things on my task list that I feel not completely lost with, but yeah, a bit overwhelmed about. But it's gonna be fine. I keep saying it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, like I some advertisement found me today about like I don't know, it's an app that helps you with organizing your tasks and all of that and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I got curious, and I did this thing. I did this test or whatever they had. And the test part was very promising because it was easy to handle and whatnot. And then I read them up on Trustpilot, and it was very disappointing because they have a shitty construction of how to charge you. So they charge you like $40 after 1 week when they say that it's like, well, which construction do you want? Weekly, monthly, whatnot? And then I don't know, someone said monthly, and then after 1 week they just charge you with this. So it's kind of insane. And when you see like 1.5 rating on Trustpilot, then I'm happy that I looked them up. I always look everything up actually before I buy from unknown places. But
yeah, I was a bit disappointed because I did kind of the same as you. Lately, there's a big drive for this furniture company, like outdoors furniture. Usually, I guess that's what they're advertising right now, called Belliani. And they seem to have some nice options on there for a replacement sofa. But then I looked them up on Trustpilot. I'm not going to give them any money at all.
No, it can be very disappointing and very like warning sign when you read all those reviews, and oh God, it's... And when you can't even look up the companies, that's even more difficult. So you need to trust your guts. Like I'm looking for indoor doors right now because technically the Budapest apartment needs some. And all of a sudden I got deep into the rabbit hole with figuring out that, okay, this is not a standard size we need. This is not a... something that we can ask our friend for, because definitely it needs a professional, and then who is the professional to look for, and then there's all sorts of jungle out there of people doing this and companies, and then some of them are closed and some of them gave me an offer, and then I almost fell off the chair. That is this how much it costs nowadays? I had no idea about that. And I guess it makes sense because you pay for the material, and if the material is not weak ass cheap shit, then you need to pay. But I mean, is it worth it for us, though? I'm not entirely sure about that.
Well, if you want to sleep at any point when you visit, then yes, it's worth it, I guess.
Yeah, but that's also not only a matter of high-end door only kind of thing. But yeah, for one door, it would make sense. I'm not really sure about the second one, though. But yeah, it's a tricky part.
Doesn't need to be a high-end door.
No,
most decent doors block most of the sound these days anyway.
Yeah, one would think so.
Even the lighter doors are the stuff that they put in between the sheets on the outside actually reflects sound one way or another, depending on which way the inlay is built.
Yeah,
quite cleverly done. And speaking, going back to the subscription thing and whatnot, Matt Ricardo says virtual credit cards are good for trials, and if you don't like it, just cancel the virtual card. I've been requesting my bank to implement that feature because one of the banks I used to be a customer of, they had that as a feature straight in the bank. If you wanted to, you could tie it to a separate account that you have on there. Generate a random card like that has an expiry date in I don't know, a month or a day or whatever, and the amount of money that specific card can withdraw. That's
pretty cool. Yeah. And then you just close that virtual card and it's gone forever?
Yes.
Okay. Although I like to clean up things the proper way, meaning that if I want to unsubscribe from something, I really want to fight with the company until they really unsubscribe me from their end, because otherwise sometimes it can end up in a shithole when...
Well, it can anyway.
Yeah, it can.
They just keep extracting money off of you while you're fighting them.
True, very true.
So better to just block them and then keep fighting. No difference,
true,
except
true.
they
You
don't
can still
withdraw
keep
money.
fighting, yeah.
Yeah,
true.
but they just stop being able to take your money.
Totally true.
So yeah, I sent in that request to my bank several times by now, but they said, yeah, that's a great idea, but it's low on the priority list. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and the funniest thing is with this company that seem to be scammers is that they didn't even send me any single email. I gave them my email address and I didn't receive it, and
Why?
it's not in the spam folder either, because unfortunately I was stupid enough to check them up after I asked for the test results, which is meaning that you give your email address, but I still haven't received any emails, so it's amazing. It's great.
Because the test was not the point, other than collecting your email address.
Well, they are obliged by law to include the unsubscribe link in the emails, and if they are not listening to me, then I'm going to complain.
But before you get unsubscribed, you end up in a different list, which they then sell.
Yeah, it might.
So technically, you are unsubscribed from their list that you signed up for, but your email address ends up somewhere else.
That is very true, and that can happen. And
yes.
Unfortunately, I was stupid enough not to look them before.
Yeah. Did you also send in your email address and card details for which character on Friends are you?
No. That was a bit more complicated than that. As I said, the test seemed very legit. Like, where exactly are you on the procrastination and the neurodivergent scale and whatnot? And well, I was curious where I am, apparently. But
yes, exactly. I was very curious about which Friends character I am.
That's not it.
It's the same.
No, it's not.
It's the same because they are different types of characters, and you identify as one or the other.
Okay.
More than...
I'm Phoebe then.
Exactly. You don't need a test for that.
No, I really don't. Oh my God, I love Phoebe. Anyway, Milasoft, who loves the show,
Milasoft.
Thank you. Every time, thank you. Wants to hear Shade's Beastie Dance remix by Thorsten Klose. Klose?
Yeah, I think his surname has this Danish
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so once again. So apparently Dance and Beastie Boys rap vocals go well together.
Apparently so.
This is pretty cool.
Yes.
Nice. Shades
And,
by Thorsten Klose.
Yes,
Klose.
and that was probably released, the remix that is, around the time Beastie Boys released all their vocals for free. They just
Yeah,
uploaded
I
them
remember.
somewhere
Yeah.
and said, yeah, here, use them for whatever.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. And then, of course, we have some Beastie vocals in other remixes as well, thanks to that. And
A bunch, yes.
they go very well with them.
They
At least
do
what I
indeed.
heard. So, yeah, this is pretty cool.
It is very cool.
So, yeah, back to Friends. We are rewatching the whole Friends kind of thing now. We are at the 6th season now,
Mm-hmm.
before going to sleep. That
Yeah.
is. And
Just started on season 6.
Yeah, and before this, I never had an opportunity to actually watch like the whole seasons of Friends. But I gotta say that
And also, didn't you watch the first time? Didn't you watch it in like dubbed Hungarian?
yeah, first time I did, but that was just catching probably 1 or 2 episodes, and then I quickly switched to English, and then I think for the first time I went through the first season of it. But then now it's like for the second time somehow, I don't know, it just hit me, and I'm such a fan now, and I don't know why I just didn't.
Yeah, but
Like-
it's probably because you've picked up a bunch more English by now.
Yeah,
So,
probably that
all
helps.
the funny like subtleties are more apparent.
Yeah, that's also very true. But it's, yeah, I don't know why. It's just, I love everything about it. So
Especially
just
Phoebe.
Phoebe. Yes, yes, true. I mean, she is definitely the favorite, but yes, the
She's
whole
a-
thing
Yeah,
works.
she's a proper wacko in the best of ways.
So yeah, I'm very tempted to order the Smelly Cat t-shirt from QWERTY now. But I know that once I order tees from QWERTY, then I shouldn't order one, and then I end up with an order of I don't know how many again, and then we don't have more storage space for t-shirts for that purpose, and I don't want to grow out the whatever thing. And I think you also have enough t-shirts, because I have a hard
Yeah.
time cramming them in now.
Yeah, because I have all of one shelf for all of my t-shirts, so
No,
yeah,
you
I
have
can't
2
have any more.
shelves.
No, I have one shelf for t-shirts.
That's actually not entirely true.
That's entirely true. The rest of the shelves are not t-shirts.
That's not entirely true either.
It's very true.
But-
I only have one shelf for t-shirts.
Oh, so you want to tell me that you want more t-shirts, but you never want to get rid of old and broken ones either. When I
No,
say that
just
you should.
thought that maybe I could take a slice of the wardrobe room.
You thought so?
Uh-huh. She has a whole wardrobe room. Every single shelf, drawer, hanger, everything in there is hers. I have one shelf for my t-shirts.
Well, okay, you have
One
a whole,
shelf, like literally
You
one
have a whole
shelf.
wardrobe in the bedroom for your stuff.
Yeah, you
That's
have a
not
whole
one
room.
shelf. Yeah,
Yes,
I
but
have a
for
whole
t-shirts.
room, but I always had more clothes than you did. Like, that's a natural order of life, I
Or
guess.
is it?
I mean, in our relationship, it is. Don't you think?
Well, technically, all the stuff in the studio is mine.
That's not true.
No, but technically, all of it is. Which parts are yours?
I have my
This monitor?
tractor.
Yes.
I have my Scarlet. I have.
Yes,
I
that's
have.
two very tiny. It's like one 19-inch rack unit and a half rack unit of sound card.
And that's true, because I have my technical boxes upstairs, not here. So
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
So I have this room. You have your wardrobe room.
true. I also have my deprecated tech in the basement.
Where? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as deprecated tech.
Well, those old
it
phones.
always comes in handy at some point in time.
So you want to tell me that I shouldn't start to charge my old Sony Ericsson and Ericsson phones?
It depends on when you last charged them.
10 years ago? 15 years ago?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Probably wouldn't.
No, probably wouldn't. It's chemistry. I wouldn't trust that old battery chemistry to actually still be safe.
It was already lithium, as I remember.
But, yeah, sure, it was. But they don't build them the same. They did not build them the same. Otherwise, you would have had way longer battery time than you have. Yeah.
Damn. Well, they look so beautiful, at least. That much I can say. I always had to have unique-looking phones.
Maybe you can build a little shrine for old mobile phones somewhere.
Oh my god. I mean...
Why not?
No, it's like... There are these objects that I can't make up my mind about because they have emotional value to me, yet I know that I will never use them again, most likely.
Yeah, so why not build a shrine to them so you can see them and remember the good days when you used them?
Yeah, but then at the same time, maybe there is someone out there who could find them useful and use them, you know? Like, why not? And then who am I to keep them in the wardrobe? And I always keep thinking this way. Like, nowadays, I start to keep, like, I keep thinking of this, that I have all that stuff and someone might be able to use them, actually. What's the point in storing them?
Well, I don't know. Someone could probably use one of those Commodore 64s over there.
Oh yeah, like I keep telling you with the Amigas as well, like someone would be so happy about them.
Probably someone would.
And you have it on the shelves.
Yes.
And that's a shame.
Yes, not just it. Them.
And yeah, I give you that. I'm not really at the end of my journey when it comes to decluttering, because I already did decluttering several times and I'm maniacally watching YouTube videos. Oh my god, those girls are so good with that, and there's so much to learn from them regarding this. But at the same time, I have to find my own way, because everyone is unique and they can't really tell me, even if they tell all the techniques that you can use in the world, that what is important to me and what is not. That's only a very individual thing. So
yeah. Oh, Matricado has a good point that they turned off the analog GSM frequencies. So unusable unless they have 4G. I guess. Well, I guess. But maybe 3G?
No, I mean... It's... Well, actually, I like to go technical. Yeah.
But yeah, like the old Nokia, was it N600 or 900 or whatever, the one with the keyboard and such. It also had an infrared broadcaster that you could program, because it was based on Linux and whatnot. So you could technically still use it to control stuff in your house, I guess. That are infrared, like a TV, stereo, that sort of thing, and include it in your home assistant type thing.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to use them as a phone, you know?
True. Yeah.
Or maybe...
But that's something to think of.
Maybe take all the screens off of all of these devices and make a bigger screen and make something retro-ish out of it. Like play Worms on a multiple screen Worms version of the old Nokia 2110 or whatever.
That would be something. Yeah, like if someone likes to build things like this, then that's an amazing project, I guess.
Oh, Nokia 9500. No, I'm thinking more maybe No, the N600, I think it was, that also had the infrared thingy and the keyboard and ran Linux. One of the first phones that actually ran Linux.
Wow. Okay.
I can't remember the name of the OS or whatever, but
I don't remember. I wasn't a Nokia person.
N900 says i0. Thank you. Yes.
Wow. That's. Yeah, I was always an Ericsson person for some odd reason. There was always Nokia versus Ericsson, and I was the Ericsson person.
Oh,
And almost all my
Maemo.
phones were Ericsson.
Oh yes, Maemo was the OS on that one. Yeah, the Ericsson, the what was it, i310 or whatever, the very very small one.
i310.
Yeah, I think it was i310 or whatever.
I don't remember that one, but I remember
It's very small.
No,
Or was it T3?
T28. That was like the very thin flip phone, and that looked so cool. And anytime I saw it in a like anywhere, basically, I was so envious. Like, oh, this phone is so cool, and it's like
and the R310 was the shark fin.
yeah,
thing.
that's the unbreakable one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember that one too.
No,
yeah.
I meant the other one, the very, very, very small. Boz used to have one. It's like this big, like a very small
Okay,
thing, like a
possible.
deck of cards or whatever.
I
but
need to look
not-
that up.
But like half a deck of cards.
Wow.
Really, really small.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it was like, I thought it was like in the I range, like i330 maybe? I can't remember.
Yeah.
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 But it was a cute phone.
Yeah, it was. What do you have on the playlist there? Because
Well,
I think you have something that...
I do have something, and I think I got the audio to work. Not 100% sure, so let's check. I did.
Oh, it does work. And this one goes out to Max Levine, who requested Mermaid and Smaadjurens Sommarfest. Whoops.
Well, that was an abrupt ending.
Oh, and I realized the bed was playing under that. Sorry.
And the SID was crackling a bit. So I'm gonna change that buffer a little bit because I don't know, this machine seems to be a little bit. Yeah, that sounds better.
Still crackles
yeah,
a bit.
Little bit.
Yeah, you need probably Hermit's or someone else's emulator there.
Yeah, I usually use the Resid one, but let's try that one.
Oh, that sounds very different.
Yes, it does. I'm gonna just change the buffer.
Ow! 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 That hurts. Try Hermit. Proton also says, and if he says that, I believe him. So, what?
Hermit.
Oi, oi, oi. Okay, this didn't work that
Web
much.
USB. Yeah. I don't have one. Go away. Yeah. Yeah, I think the best one so far is this. But there's a broken image link at the bottom or the top of the page, which is why the thing that you see the WebSID emulator and user and password fields, because there's a little bit of broken thing at the top there.
Huh.
See? Zoomed screenshot.
Well, you zoomed.
Yeah, very zoomed. Dun, 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 dun,
Well,
dun.
I guess this didn't entirely work out as expected, but
Not quite.
we tried at least.
Yeah, we did
We
try.
can say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Alcatel One Touch Easy. I think technically that was one of the first phones where I felt the possibility that at one day I also can have a mobile phone. Like that was like the commercializing the industry part. Yes, totally.
Yeah, I had one of those early Motorola flip phone things. Can't remember the name of it, but the flip thingy was just a plastic kind of thing to protect the keys, nothing else. There was no microphone or anything in there. The next one I got, because I thought that was stupid, was the Motorola Flare.
Okay.
Yeah, decent phone. And then I got what was that? Hitachi? I think it was a Hitachi S40. So that was also like late 90s, I think. It was very nice and slick looking thingy. Was it Hitachi though?
Back in the days when phones had personalities still. Now they don't have it anymore because all of them look the same.
Yeah,
This is so sad.
It's just a screen.
Yes.
Siemens S40, not Hitachi.
Right, okay. Yeah, I remember the Siemenses as well. They weren't my favorite, but...
Well, this one was cute. Let's see if I can bring... There we go. One of these puppies.
Oh. Okay, this doesn't look that bad.
Life timer, 20 hours. Okay. I don't know what a life timer is.
Oh, and Luna, your first phone was already like, it had colored screen. This is so cool. Because it's like my first phones. I think the first cool thing about the phone, I remember Panasonic's when they had several LEDs in the phone and it's colorful, like orange and green and blue and purple, and I want this phone just because of that.
Oh, yeah, I think they had some nickel and cadmium and stuff in there as well as lead.
Very funny. But yes, the Panasonics, they had colored screens, but still very monochrome screen. It's just the light behind the screen that was different colors to choose from.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that was so cool.
Sorry. Like, multicolor, yay!
Yeah, I was like bored with everyone having the same freaking green or whatever the light the phone providers did. And yeah, I always just wanted something different. And when the smartphone started to spread around, I think like literally all of my mobiles had its personality and look and design and whatnot, and I loved all of them for good reasons. And then all of a sudden this I don't know, border radiused brick design is there for all the phones, and they all look the same essentially. And it's like, how disappointing is that after the variation of Ericsson designs? Not to mention that they had, well, their software wasn't really great, especially not towards the end, and it was lagging so much that I just got very disappointed with Sony, because in the end they became Sony and it really didn't do good for them. And yeah, it's just sad.
Yeah.
And I hated my last two Sony phones because they were so laggy.
Aren't Nokia trying to do some sort of comeback now with the mobile phones and whatnot?
Do they?
Yeah.
That would be something.
NEC 3G clamshell.
And yeah, how cool the Nokia Engaged looked, and how cool this other NEC phone looked, and yeah, it's like, yeah, these actually look like something. Yet the mobiles now are not about the design anymore. And I'm just sad as a design. I guess it's a designer thing. Like, I just care how the objects look around me. I'm sorry about that.
They look like a phone.
Yeah, all of them look the same now. Well, at least one thing I figured out, that nobody will care about this, but I just replaced my, well, right now I like to use this type of protection on my phones, because I kind of figured out, since I'm using it, that I feel just insecure with the phones without them. And now I have a new one. After 2 years, I think approximately 2 years, I replaced the case of this. And now it feels like I have a new phone. So just in case you feel like you need a new phone, if you feel like you need a new phone, maybe you just need to change the case.
Maybe.
If you don't have a good enough reason for that.
I don't think it makes it faster, but sure.
No, of course. If it's laggy and slow, that's a very good reason to replace your phone. Yeah. So I don't have patience for this shit.
The only times I've ever replaced my phones is when they break. Or simply are too slow.
Yeah. And Dragonix, that's... I'm not really sure what your comment applies to, but I'm not Gen Z. So yeah, but this is very flattering. Thank you very much. I will take it as a compliment. So yeah.
I don't even know when a Gen Z would be born. I never learned when those kind of go into each other.
Well, to be very precise now, I will just look it up, so I'm not providing any false information there. Gen Z timeline.
Oh yeah, if you need
individuals born between 1997 and 2012. That's Gen Z.
How is that helpful?
Well, that's Gen Z.
Yes, but how is that helpful?
To
calling them
what?
that?
I don't know. It helps for some people to kind of put them into a box. I guess that's what it is.
97 to
2012.
Random. Why so random?
I do not know. This means technically 15 years. So if we go back and check Gen Y, I think that will be also 15 years.
Gen Y? Like, why?
Why?
What was Gen A?
1981 Gen A is, I think, the alphas. They come after Gen Zs, but never mind. 1981 to 1999. This is Gen Y. This is me and also your son.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I'm Gen old school.
you're Gen X. That's what you
X
are.
marks the spot, I
yes.
guess.
You are X-Man. Yep. So yeah, and Gen Y is also called the millennials, just to be precise, just so you know. So if they refer to millennials, that's us, that's Gen Y.
Yeah, Gen Y.
Gen Y. But yes.
Yeah, Matricardo, I'm not going to mention the $500 Trump phone that sells as a American-built phone, but is just a Chinese knockoff.
Oh my god, I heard of this.
Yeah. It's gold spray painted. I think, who was it that made a bit of a skit with it, that if you hold it, your hand's going to be all golden painty.
That's hilarious. Wow.
One of the late night hosts did a skit and then said, "Oh, well, I ordered one, pre-ordered one. I got one here." Then, of course, his hand was all gold painted.
Aww. Aww. Mm.
Because why not?
Yeah. Yeah, and just to add to Dragonix, yeah, no, it's thank you very much actually, because that was definitely a compliment, and I'm like a visually sensitive person when it comes to these things. I think that comes from the thing.
That's why I'm sitting over here in the shadows, because she's very sensitive to the visuals on this side of the table. Let me come out in the brightness over here.
Aww. So yeah, I think that comes from the fact that I was drawing from my childhood, and also I became technically, like by job, a designer, a web designer in fact. And technically print designer too. Technically nowadays I do other stuff as well. And I'm not saying I would do this 24 hours per day. That much we already learned. So yeah, but definitely, like I just love how visuals communicate any messages basically, and I just love it in every possible scenario. Let it be phone design, let it be a website, let it be typography, let it be clothes. And this is one of the reasons I think why I'm very into designing outfits too, because not designing but putting them together. Because
I put clothing on too.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, but it's it always tells a story, and the subtle details that are there. It's like I really try to put them right whenever it comes. Especially you.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes, listen up. I have my socks inside the pants instead of over them.
Oh my god.
Same. You can do the same trick. It's more difficult, level 2, I guess. It's only for Gen Xers. You can put your shirt outside the pants, not inside.
I know.
Advanced clothing expertise being delivered right here.
Tuck-in is making a comeback now, which I absolutely don't mind.
I've seen that on Trump. His pants are almost up here at the nipples. It's very, very smart looking.
That's a bit different though. But yeah, it's people with short legs can benefit from that. Anyway, where were we? Regarding requests, we were talking for a while, and we have barbecue. I like that name. Barbecue. Understand? Yes, it's Barbie with a Q.
I get it. Did you see the intro screen?
Oh, right. Okay, this is where it comes from, but just for the listeners, it's a Barbie that is a cube. But anyway, the request is Bionic Commando, the one with the 64 drinks. What else it might be than Romeo Night, obviously.
Hi, I'd like to have 64 Bacardis on the rocks, please.
Si, senor. All for you?
Yes, all for me, thank you.
Well, how do you want to carry them?
With my bionic arm.
I never understood this finishing part of this remix. Like, just comes back for like 10 seconds just to have this guitar thingy in the background, and not even a lot of loudness on that one.
Yeah, maybe it's
just-
supposed to sound like you're leaving the party, and that's the sound of the party back there behind you because you're leaving it now.
But before that, it definitely sounds like the song is ending. So it always kind of...
Well, it's Romeo night, who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
we should ask him next time we talk to him. What the fuck is up with that ending? Why? Did you have some strums you didn't know where to put, so you thought, nah, fuck it, I had an animal break, so why not there?
Yeah, but lovely. Oh yes, the 64 Bacardis as Luna sent. Beautiful.
Yes.
When exactly was that happening first? And then
First time with the 64 Bacardis. I think it was the year after this came out. So
okay.
whenever that was,
Whenever
2007.
that was. Okay, it's been a while, so we need to check this out. Romeo night.
So that came out in 2006. So on
2007.
the gathering of 2007, I guess.
Nice. Okay. So gathering of 2007, and since then, how many times did you order 64 Bacardis?
I think with the one last time, that would have been like 3 times more. So 4 in total, I think.
Okay. Last time we thank Edward for that because, well, he was very generous to bring the 64 Bacardis
Yes, very, very generous and very nice of him.
on the
Thank you,
25
Edward.
years of Slay Radio gathering last year in
And
August.
And of course, you need 64 Bacardis.
Of course. Of
He
course.
did not have a bionic arm.
But he had the 64 Bacardis.
He did.
Yes. So, very, very kind. Oh, where were we?
And Matt Ricardo wonders if it's one person drinking all 64 Bacardis or 64 people getting one each. Yes.
I think it's kind of harmful for your health if you try to drink them all on your own.
They're small glasses.
Yeah, but 64 of them could get you into the hospital probably with alcohol poisoning, so I would not recommend to do that.
It's not recommended at all. No, I have not tried.
I'm very glad you didn't. I know you had your wild days already behind you, but I'm glad you are still alive.
Well, I guess that wasn't the worst of it, and there's been all sorts of other wild stuff like blowing shit up and stuff like that. But yeah, we can talk about that later, but... What?
Was that legal?
Oh, very much not.
Oh my god. When you were a little boy or something?
Yeah. You know, you do odd things when you're 12.
Okay. Well, I never tried to blow up anything when I was 12, so I don't know how exactly
Yeah,
you...
well, I guess you didn't have enough nitroglycerin to play around with. It
Well,
happens.
that's not the first thing my parents gave me to play with, that's for sure.
They did not
They
give
did
me
not
any
give it to
nitroglycerin.
you either, I would think so. Yeah, you found it yourself. Clever
yeah,
boy.
I found it behind a shed.
And you instantly knew what to play with.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
But
I
you
wouldn't want to
don't-
be your mom.
You don't need any explosives to blow things up.
Oh no,
you know?
you really don't. You
No, you
only-
just need a water bottle with some water. That's it.
or a spray bottle
No,
and
no.
some fire.
No, water bottle, not spray bottle, because
how
spray
would-
bottle would leak. You need to be able to cork it shut properly, so you build up pressure inside the bottle.
Don't give the kids tips, okay?
It's
So what
well-
about the water bottle then?
well, you just hang it over your campfire, and then don't realize that, well, maybe sitting right next to it is not a good idea if it's supposed to blow.
How would that come to your mind even? Like,
because if thing can go boom, you will make it go boom. That's how.
is this some sort of little guy thing?
I guess it is.
Oh my god.
If you live in a small village with like 1,000 or 1,500 people, if
I
even
get it,
that,
nothing is happening,
and,
that's why.
You have to kind of figure out how to entertain yourself.
So you were so bored that you started to blow up things.
Well, that's certainly not boring, so
I mean,
yeah.
there are so many other things you can do, like reading books and, I don't know, you know.
I read books.
Yeah, I get it. It wasn't exciting enough.
How do you think we figured out that we can make things go boom with just a water bottle?
Okay, so you loved chemistry books. Now it all makes sense. I get it now.
That's not really chemistry. That's physics.
No. Is it? Okay, well, both kind of anyway. But yes, I mean, always something to learn about you. So glad I wasn't your mother.
Oh, she didn't know any of this, of course.
Well, at that time, or she still doesn't know? Because
probably.
now she
knows
can know.
Of some of them, but it's not like I'm just keeping things like 30 years after I can tell her. No.
If you don't get an SMS right now, I don't know.
No, well, it's been very silent on the mother phone.
Mother phone. She has a phone herself.
The direct line.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. Anyway, maybe we should play some music as well. What do you think?
Does it go boom?
Well, it's hyper-based, so it might. It's I0's request. Hyper-based. Oh my god, it's a cube!
Oh, that
by
actually is a
Virgill.
bit boomy.
So yeah, let's boom.
Not in a bad way.
Oh my god, it's a cube!
Oh my god!
It's a cube! Definitely by Virgill. So, Hyperbased. And we all love Hyperbased. It's hard not to love Hyperbased. This is one of the songs, I think, that... Yeah, I would love to hear about anyone who hates Hyperbased. I don't know a single person.
No, I know nobody either.
You
This
don't
one,
know?
complete stranger.
Ah, right, yeah. We are strangers to each other for 8 years now.
Yes.
8 years. That's crazy.
Crazy. Barbie cubes.
Everything
FS is on fire today.
Yeah, it's everything is about barbecues and Barbies and cues.
Yes.
Yes, you are really looking forward to rule the grill tomorrow.
No,
I can
not
see
really.
That.
It's
Not really looking forward to that? Then why are you
no,
doing
because
it?
the sous videing part is kind of tedious.
Well, you
with,
just smack
getting
it in for 5 hours.
Yes,
and then...
but you need to get the machine out because it's been in the cupboard. You need to make sure it's working and all of that business, and then relearn how the fucking thing works and all of that.
Right.
So it's gonna be a process.
I hate when that happens. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I feel with your menu thing right now, but I gotta get there.
Mother.
Oh no!
I'm guessing.
Oh no!
Yeah. Okay, so she missed that discussion. That's good.
Oh, that's great, because what does she say now?
Just that she missed a discussion, but heard us mentioning her, so...
Oh. I mean, it's really good that you did. And it's not that you can watch it after the show on YouTube.
Nah. It's only fun if it's in real time.
It's really...
It's only fun if it's in real time.
No, it's not. But I don't know. As a mother who I never became to be so far, I would imagine this is an information I would not want to know about.
Well, she has an option to not listen.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
So, yeah.
All right. Anyway.
What?
Nothing. No. You just like explosions, I guess.
Yeah. Boom.
Well, it's probably good if it happens far away from you, though.
And that is helpful.
Helpful. Yeah, okay, good.
It is helpful, so you don't get glass shrapnel in your ass.
Yeah, that's...
That did not happen to me, but one of the people that was with us once, he thought he would duck with his ass pointing towards the explosion. Tried to tell him to hide behind the wood shed, but he did not.
I mean, Darwin Awards are real, really. So,
yeah, but they are.
What can we say? Terrible, terrible. We have some video requests now.
We do?
And the first one is made by Dragonix for a while.
Dragonix.
Well, I can't believe that we had so many requests and we talked so much, probably as well. Sorry about that.
We usually do.
It's been 80 minutes since this request was coming in, so and we go like according to the timeline. So the earlier requests make it earlier. But anyway, Dragonix was requesting LukHash and Supremacy.
Let's play some
LukHash. Fulidum.
Fulidum. Yeah, so see, he even gave me a thumbs up on the Fulidum there, right at the end. Like, thanks. Yeah, I forgot that one, so thanks.
Just in case you wouldn't know who did this.
Yeah, and where to
Everyone
find
does
him.
know who did this, but yes, it's always great to repeat the great things.
It is
Dobre
indeed.
wieczór, Robbie Yuri.
Well,
Good evening.
oh,
That's what it means.
wow, I can't see it. Huh. Maybe he's in need of a new keyboard.
Actually, it's 2 words, but it's written in one now. Because convenience, I guess.
Oh, a little bit of Buddhist. Make me one with everything, as the Buddhist said to the dude making a sausage.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, what was the story with that? You remember that?
That's the story. A
This-
Buddhist walks up to a sausage vendor on the streets of New York and says, "Make me one with everything."
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
the joke.
Right. Yeah, it just felt funnier when I heard it somewhere else. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Either.
don't know.
I don't know.
Me either. Mm.
Oh, they are taking the hobbits to Isengard. That's a great one. Yes.
Oh, yes. Mm.
Rest in peace, Erwin.
Mm. One of the best people on planet Earth.
Mm.
Well, was.
Yeah. I would like to believe still is. But, you know, that's
Well, technically he's still on planet Earth.
I mean, if
Most of him.
reincarnation is possible or whatnot, then yeah, that's a great concept, I think. And Sphinx, yeah, I speak a bit of Polish. I lived in Poland for a while, so I guess that's expected.
And also your ex-husband was Polish?
Yes, and yeah, he was the main reason why I obviously learned Polish. It's not a language that you just randomly decide to learn because it looks like fun.
Yeah, it does not look like fun.
It's sort of like Hungarian. I can hardly believe that someone starts and sits down and learns because fun.
Yeah, or Finnish.
Same, actually. It's kind of scary when I look at it, but at least it gives me away how others feel about my language, my native language, when they look at it, because I really don't understand any single word. So...
Or Polish?
Yeah. Any single? No. Well, I understand more Polish than Finnish for sure. I can tell you that. Good evening, Dax.
Hello. Hello? Why that dialect? I don't know.
Me
With the
neither.
hello.
Is that a
Why?
Dutch thing? Or what would that be?
Huh?
Is it a Dutch thing or how would that be?
I don't know.
They have the age of...
What it would be in Dutch? I don't know.
No, it's like... I just wanted to
Hoi?
learn what dialect you are mimicking because...
Hoi is in and that's in Dutch.
That's hoi,
Yeah.
but that's not the throaty hoi.
No.
Can
It
you
is not.
copy the throat sound in Dutch?
No, not really. I need to hear it for a bit before I can.
Mhm.
Kind of like when you go to Denmark, I can kind of copy some of the quirks of the Danish language, but it takes me like a week to get there.
Okay.
Just constantly listening and whatnot.
It takes you a week to put potatoes in your mouth.
Yeah, pretty much, but yeah, hot ones continuously.
Hot ones?
Yes, hot potatoes.
Okay. I thought that you mentioned the hot ones, like the, the YouTube thingy.
No, we were talking potatoes.
Right.
Mm.
Not the hot ones that you constantly talk about sometimes. Not.
Sometimes constantly.
Sometimes constantly, like what
So not
times
constantly then.
you talked about it more often like a while ago, but yeah, the hot ones that had all the guests eating.
I mentioned it a couple of times when there was some interesting person on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you talked about it.
That's not constantly.
Well, not constantly, but you talked about it for quite a while with Boz as well, when they had special guests, and then how they ate
Yes.
the spicy chicken thing. Like, I would probably fall out at the third round, maybe the second one. Yeah, how far would you make it, and how far would I make it? What's your bet?
You would make it about 2/3. I think to the da bomb, which is, I think, somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
But you would suffer through that, but then it will kind of accumulate on you, I think, and then it would be really difficult. But maybe you would just be stubborn enough to get through the whole thing.
I love chicken.
Yeah, but you won't taste that much chicken. So there's that. But
right.
yeah, I would make it through.
All right.
It would be
I
hot,
see.
of course, but yeah.
All right.
What is happening with that?
I think
There's something broken.
someone posted a lot of spaces there.
Yeah, it's a request.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it came through it's been...
It came through
it's been
in a bit of a weird way, but yeah,
No, it didn't come through in a bit weird way. On the request list, I mean. It looks fine.
On the request list it is.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess your system is able to handle spaces, maybe? That's why?
It can.
And can you line up the next song, please, that I sent?
Oh, I can.
That's fantastic, because that would be for Matt Ricardo.
Oh, why did it do that? What
I
did I
do
do?
not know. Go back to the start.
Yeah.
Start again.
Oh, I think I accidentally clicked the 3 or whatever.
Okay, but you will be able to play it, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So, Hoffman and Wrecklamation. And he had a tracker video, if we have it. Well, I don't know if we have it, but we will try to play some sort of tracker video, yeah.
It's a video of something. Let's hope it's visible to you too. YouTube. Maybe?
Please.
Well, something is happening. I don't know. That's weird.
Loading, it's happening. It's loading.
Is that a loading bar?
No, it's loading the patterns and
what
all
kind
of that.
Tracker? Oh, there we go. And we hear something. Not very loud though. Wow.
And Luna added that this is why pattern animation got banned on the revision. Well, technically, I'm not entirely sure if you have seen the authentic animation entirely, because it looks a bit different with the videos that she sent through. But yeah, it's cool. Visually too.
Yeah. I don't know how that works, but the patterns went like backwards and whatnot. I guess you could have jump commands in
Yes,
the patterns
you can.
and that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
but programming that whole thing, even if you have a script for it, I guess you do the track first and then you feed it into some sort of visualizer thingy-mabob or whatever. But looks damn cool.
Mm-hmm. It does. So, yeah. Well, Hoffman also knows his shit, as we know. So, yes. No questions there.
Mm-hmm.
No questions asked. Thank you, Matt, for requesting this one.
Yeah, and yeah, the track was quite silent, so I had to bump the volume by 12 decibels.
The volume was not the point of this track, I guess.
If you want to hear it, I guess it's
I
the
guess
point.
it's good, yeah.
Because it's a kind of a nice track too. So, yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. It's great to hear music.
Well, yeah, definitely better than just looking at it. No matter the visualization you have on it, still prefer to hear it. What?
Dax is talking
16.
about a 16 speaker setup that, yeah, in 2014, a friend and he
That's
had a club in Lübeck.
That's a serious surround system.
Yes. 8
It's-
top speakers for each room. Two
It's,
rooms.
It's like the Matrix bullet time video where you have like a
All the cameras.
full ring of cameras that
Yeah.
shoot at high frame rate and whatnot.
Yeah. Pretty cool, indeed. And then the technique became legendary.
Yes,
So cool.
innovative.
Yes.
I wonder if you could do some similar fun stuff with audio. It's not quite the same, obviously, but
You record
just,
the audio from several sources
No.
in the room.
no, I'm thinking more because you can do that with way less than like a full set of cameras around you because you don't need to move that way to make audio move because your brain fills in the gaps in a way different way than your eyes do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more thinking that maybe you could use face cancellation techniques to make a drop, like truly drop, like it feels like it removes the floor from underneath you or something. If you're
Yeah.
positioned in the center, sort of thing, makes you feel like you kind of popped out from, like teleported from Earth up into space or some shit like that, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you don't need that many speakers. In fact, that would probably fuck that project up entirely. 4 would probably work. Most likely.
And in Matrix, they use 64 cameras in a ring. 64!
Of course.
Accident? I don't think so.
No, definitely not an accident. They saw a Commodore 64 and went, wow, yes, that's a good number. We need that many cameras.
Exactly. Well, you know, there was Room 303 as well. There are some hints there that they knew something. They knew something.
Yes, because the 303 is so tightly connected to the 64.
No, but to the demo scene, it's kind of connected. So both of them are kind of connected. So you never know. Maybe amongst the Matrix producer people, there were some that were familiar with these concepts.
I'm sure.
Are you? Though? Are you?
I am.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, that's. It just sounded like you are not convinced, but okay.
I am.
How about something Forsyth?
Forsyth is always welcome.
Forsyth, okay, because Bolo...
Good Forsyth.
Yes, Bolo wants a Scarabaeus from Team Forsyth.
Scarabaeus. Very
Not
nice.
a fiddly-dum, but a boom.
Yes, a boom.
A boom. That's
boom.
half the success for Slaygon,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think. So he really appreciates this Tim. I think so. This is a grandiose one.
Yes, very nice and spacey.
Nice.
Diggity. I love that. Yes,
Yeah,
very
I agree.
spacey and
I
nice.
agree. Completely agree. Yes. Really, really nice. And all the IRC triggers are implemented on the Discord channel as
Yes.
well. Because I can see
the way they are triggered is through the same means, i.e. through Discord. There's no bot per se that listens to the triggers on IRC. It's just it picks them up through the bridge that is on Discord.
Okay. Yeah, and Dragonix, it kind of works like if we can, everyone gets their first request and we get the second request once everyone had around. So this very moment, looking at the request list, I can't really guarantee there will be a second request.
How many do we have?
We still have a few people who
That's,
didn't hear their songs. Yeah,
That's a bunch. So
that is definitely
if
a
we
bunch.
Want to get through them, we should stop talking.
And start playing music. Yeah, kind of. Something like that. So, Proton, for example, stays on Finnish grounds and asks for rock and Muser. Sami Seppä.
Ew.
You had to. You just had to.
Yes.
Even if
A
it's...
Kerrang and a Fiddly-Doo.
Yeah, both of them? That's just too much of the good things.
No, never.
Never.
Not in the track like this.
No, okay, true. Okay, that works.
It does.
Yes, really good track.
It is. Rock. I wanna rock.
So how much will you garden the next week?
A little.
A little.
Yes.
Will you be very bored?
Probably.
Oh.
But at least I only have that one kind of leaning patch left as the big job. That's the only thing left to do. Then it's just like minor bits and pieces that need to be done.
And do you want to work on a remote setup?
Gardening remotely.
Nah.
Interesting concept.
Yeah, that's also an interesting concept. I would love that, but
Hey, does anyone have a robot so I could hook up like a VR set and a joystick?
no, just like in
stuff?
the offices when they have these cameras on top with a tablet and someone's face, and then they try to roll in to meetings and all of that. That's what gardening remotely, how I imagine it at least.
Yeah, but if you have a proper, like, I don't know, a four-legged robot, like the Boston Dynamics type things, with some appropriate, like legs or arms on top of that, with some appropriate gardening tools, could probably do something with that.
Yeah, but you
like
still
make
need to
gamify gardening.
Yeah, but you still need to do the movements. So what's the point?
Yeah, but you don't need to do the heavy lifting. It's gamification of gardening. Or do you mean that? Oh no, it's too heavy to move to the left and right on the joystick.
Oh my God, you really want me to get into this, right?
Robotics? Yeah, why not?
Okay, well, robotics, that I can. That's interesting. That actually more interesting than gardening for me for now.
So,
but
build a robot, make it look pretty, so it's not an eyesore, because that's important for some.
No, the first prototype will be ugly like fuck.
Like paint flames on the side or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Burn this shit down.
Oh well.
Would be fun to see the neighbors' reactions when you have a robot dog or whatever walking around in the garden spewing flames out of its mouth. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, they wouldn't be too happy. Why am I doing this anyway?
I don't know.
Sorry about that. Anyway, no, I just wanted to ask you, like, do you see any chance for a remote setup for a show next Thursday? Or
not impossible. I did have a fun idea. That would actually simplify the setup quite a bit.
Okay.
So instead of having you kind of pop in and out on the screen here or whatever, I'm just gonna put a monitor on your chair.
Okay, so we are doing the tablet thing. Yeah, that would be.
No, I thought of it earlier before we saw that on the episode.
Oh God.
Instead of doing the high-tech green screen thing and object removal business and whatnot, just put a fucking monitor there.
Oh wow, that would
easy.
be something.
Yeah, and if you're cold, I can put a coat around you.
Because I have enough of those.
Yeah, I'll just fetch one from your wardrobe room upstairs.
So phone-controlled Raspberry Pi based first-person view lawnmower is already out there, apparently.
Oh, I don't need that. I don't need to see like the first-person view of the lawnmower. I don't care about a lawnmower. It can do its own business. We have one already.
Yeah, we don't need to see whatever it's doing. Yeah.
What I would need on that one is like a small location broadcast thingy, GPS or whatever triangulation doohickey triangulation probably would be better. Just 2 poles that it triangulates against or something, that you can see where it's got stuck, if it gets stuck. And then, I don't know, unless it's in its house, it sends out a warning if it gets or sits there for like, I don't know, 5 minutes or
Makes
whatever.
sense. Yeah, that
Then-
would be lovely.
Yeah,
At least you would know about that.
but for now I fixed the yard enough, or the grass, so it doesn't get stuck too often. There's a couple of spaces that I need to fill in with new soil and whatnot, but other than that, it does its job. So
Yeah, that's cool.
it's a good little robo cutter, RoboCut.
Yeah, sounds great. How about another Finnish Swedish
Oh.
song? And yes, it's partially rock, but it's also JLD.
Oh,
Oh, it's Smile to the Sky, the radio edit,
Oh.
Slay radio edit version, which is not 10 minutes, but a bit less. But we played this for Atte.
Atte.
Yeah.
Atte. Så att... That
yeah.
lead melody in there, one of the best I've ever heard, melody-wise. And the way Rock delivers it is just chef's kiss on that.
Yes, it's a fantastic song.
Yes, and I agree with JLD. Kick-ass track.
Yeah, you did a hell of a job on this one. Definitely.
Yes, I agree.
We completely, fully agree.
Oh, hello, Malthus.
And
yes,
Malthus,
happy
hi,
birthday.
and happy birthday from here too,
Yes.
from the studio.
Da Studio.
Da Studio. Das Studio. Is it Das or there? Or the studio?
I hope it's not
I don't know.
Das.
Why? Oh, yeah, right, I know. Let's see.
A toilet. That's a toilet.
There the Das. No, let's see which one.
Das, says Malthus.
Es muss das Studio heißen. Okay, so it's Das Studio.
Das Studio Scheißen, yes. Yeah, I think that's what I said. We don't want it to be a Scheißen Das.
But probably if Malthus missed this little detail, then we just let him know that das is, it has a different meaning in Swedish.
It does, yes. It means toilet. Or the John.
The
no.
toilet studio.
Yes. But spelled
my.
with two S's. Das. Hence Dasse's name. Dasse.
Yes.
The toilet man.
Oh, I can see that he-
Yes, Malthus. Bog.
But Aus dem Studio, yes, because that's one of the 4 cases that you have. So, yeah, because cases, they should exist in other languages than Swedish.
Well, you have all of them in your wardrobe room.
Cases?
Yes, all the suitcases are there.
They,
I don't know, reprocreate in the closet there.
That's not true. I didn't buy that many suitcases.
Well, if you open any of the wardrobes or closets, there's always a bag or 2 on the bottom shelf.
Oh, well, yeah, but technically I have about 3 suitcases, so that's not that much. Is that a lot?
3 or 4?
3, I think. I think I
Really?
have 3.
Feels,
Yes,
it feels
because
like it's a lot more.
no, because suitcases, trolley bags, you know what we are talking about, they are suitcases. Other bags are not suitcases.
No, but your big ass blue one that you got for cheap somewhere.
My biggest
And
blue
then you
one
have,
wasn't that cheap, but
Yeah, I think you said you got it for cheap. And then you have a hard case one, and what else do you have? I can't even remember. Why would I remember your cases?
no, you wouldn't. But
It just feels like there's a lot of bags. Okay.
trolley
So,
bags are not
okay.
the same as other bags. Okay,
Okay,
they
so
have
bags.
different purposes. Yeah, but
Important.
I'm a frequent traveler. They are my companions, and there's always a use case for them. Ha ha ha. Oh my god, I'm becoming better at dad jokes, which is really shameful.
Yes, horrible.
Yeah. Anyway, not that much time left of the show, so maybe we should just carry on
yes.
with Berka's request,
Berk.
which is Sonic Wanderer and Thundercats.
From beyond any known galaxy, bringing with them the laws and ideals of their doomed planet Thundera, come the Thundercats.
Thundercats. And there was a fiddly-dum at the end, but since it faded out, you couldn't hear it.
No, that's
You
what
see that
it
little
is with.
tick at the end there? That's the...
That's a very not loud fiddly-dum
Yes,
there.
it's a
Yeah,
fiddly-dum.
that's what you are hoping for at least.
Yeah, it's in my heart or something. I don't know.
It is
It's
really in
somewhere.
your heart.
It's somewhere.
So this was Sonic Wanderer and Donnerkatzen, as FS and Malthus said, and they said before you ask, it's the Donnerkatzen. I think that's kind of given though, because it's plural. It's cats, so katzen, and that must be the, right? If I remember correctly, or was it? And then der Donnerbalken, which is thunder beams or whatnot. And well, it's obvious also why. It's because the second word matters, not the Donner part. So Balken, if it means beams, probably is a der. No logic there, but it's a there, okay? You just need to learn it why.
Den är där.
Där.
Den är där. Den är
yes.
precis där du sa att den skulle vara. Där var den.
There, it's a different Swedish there is definitely there, but
No, it's
that's
exactly
not
the same.
not there.
It's exactly the same där as
It's
I meant.
not the same there that we are talking about.
No.
Not the same there as
It's
there
not.
Danko, but Danko is there somewhere.
Nor is it Dan there.
Oh, done there. Yeah, good one. I like that. Yeah.
Are you done there?
I am totally done there. Oh my God, we are such a brain-dead bunch of people now. Okay, yeah, it's not that long, we promise. We still have a few tracks to play.
Let's get to them before this gets even more silly.
It won't. Or,
It
well,
won't?
I don't know. It can't get more silly than this.
Do not challenge me.
Oh, no. Okay, no, I did not say anything. But Robbie wants Ghost and Goblins Arcade by 7DD9. No, not by 7DD9.
Bye.
Originally by Glenn Rune Galdefors.
with a heart laid bare.
like a Lord of the Rings type of thingy. In the end, 789 In the Shadows, Ghosts and Goblins arcade version.
I don't think that was in the arcade version.
No, it wasn't in the arcade version, no, but...
That was the remixed version, I think.
Was it now?
I think so.
Because we are not a radio station that plays Commodore 64 remixes
No.
24/7.
That's certainly not arcade
No,
originals,
no, why would we do that?
because we don't have the arcades.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm afraid I will have trouble with this logic.
Well, if you want to play the actual originals, you would need the arcade cabinet, I guess, or at least a motherboard with an audio output. That would be a hassle to play requests. Like, wait, I had the board somewhere!
How to make things the most complicated.
It's kind of like vinyl,
First episode.
kind of like vinyl, but even more complicated.
Yeah, like completely, well, not completely pointless, but completely challenging projects, making everything more challenging. There should be a YouTube channel like this. I'm sure there is a YouTube channel like this.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of You Suck at Cooking.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen that channel, look it up.
yeah.
You suck at cooking, yes, you totally suck. There we go.
So apparently the boys were digging some big hole to release their stuff there, I guess. So thank you, Matus, for the explanation.
So a shithole.
A shithole. Yeah, a
Yeah,
literal shithole.
Like the airport you land at in the Netherlands.
Oh,
Is that
oh my
what they're
God.
building? So that's the first image of shithole. That's impressive. Didn't know it's been around that long. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, and we didn't say yet. Happy birthday, Marcel, by the way.
Oh yes, Marcel, happy birthday.
Yeah, you might not be on, but hopefully you are celebrating at a better place. So, yes.
Yes, I give Harry some celebratory cake as well.
Well, they are not allowed to eat those.
Yeah, well, he was eating cheese earlier, so...
Yeah, but sugar is really not good for dogs,
No,
I think.
not
So,
really good, but it's once a year. You can have a small nibble if it doesn't have chocolate.
Aha, is that so?
Yes,
Okay.
chocolate is poison to them. Sugar, not good, but chocolate is poison.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow. Anyway. We have not that much time left, and we still have at least 2 songs to play.
Let's get to it.
Okay,
and we only
are-
have 20 seconds, so chop chop.
That's gonna
Run it
be
at 50x speed.
multi-speed MP3s here.
Yeah, 50x.
We
That's
do
fine.
that, yeah, okay. So Christian Schneider from YouTube wants to hear Where's the Future by Kingfisher, aka
Where's the future?
Linus
It's
Valley.
right there in front of us. Right there, in front of us.
It is. It is there.
Right there.
Right there.
Or
Yeah.
actually, right there is the past, because we are looking at ourselves in the past.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Not just because it's lagging, but because the photons actually take a little while to travel from the screen back to us.
Those milliseconds matter.
Although
Everything
it's
matters.
way less than milliseconds.
Well, still. It doesn't matter. And, well, meanwhile, this happened. We still got one request from someone else. So,
We do.
yeah. So, can we have 2 more songs played?
That's what you said last song.
I know, but it became 2 again.
Well, it will continue to be so until the end of time.
No, it's just so nice what Dr. Sloaney said. Thank you for the many years of great shows and late night companionship. Also regards to Boz and Ryan. Please play, and then, of course, a song. Starting with a compliment. Yeah, very much on point.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's how you get her to do anything.
that's not what I said. But they are nice, aren't they?
What was it not?
It's not only me, it's late night companionship, and I believe I'm not sitting here alone, so it also applies to you. Excuse me.
Oh, and I said no.
You just got a compliment, but you didn't even notice that, so.
No. I'm bad at noticing those.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay then.
Okay then.
We can play 2.
Okay then. Oh, see, compliment worked on him too. Okay, let's see.
After a bit of wrangling.
Yeah, he needed to give it some time, but then here is what it is. Well, how complicated is to look for Last Ninja? It is always complicated.
It is always complicated.
Especially when you have several of those from one artist. So, yes, please play Gerd Ball, Last Ninja Wastelands in-game memorial mix. Regards from Skåneland.
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 It was... foodly-doom. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I gotta admit that Gerbal knows something about the bass.
The bass.
And
There was a question earlier from Luna saying, did I hear something about Boz maybe coming back to this station?
Often referred to as BBB, the BBB program, the BBB project, BBB initiative, BBB. This transition marked the end of BBB.
yeah, so probably
He has some plans.
Yeah, it's not like fully returning to the station as per se, because he has his own station. So that's obviously being nurtured and maintained by him. But
Yes, we are actually in a discussion in the dev channel over on Boz Radio right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, not regarding that. Completely different.
How is that relevant then?
Nurturing the Boz Radio thing.
Okay, right.
I
Okay,
kind of
okay. Yeah,
responded to there.
true. Okay, that's relevant indeed. So,
Indeed.
But yes, that means also that we reached the end of this show right now.
It's the end of the show
As
as we know it.
So yes, before we play the last track for JLD, because he requested the exit tune for tonight, and I'm just smiling, we still get requests. So it's
Told you.
yeah, true. We could totally expand it, like endlessly.
Never-ending story.
Yeah, like as long as we would have requests, we would just keep staying on. Maybe once we should actually try this out and see for how long we can go.
We could use some other criteria that if anyone is left listening, we carry on.
No, requests are more fun because some people just leave it on and then, they leave it on for the night and we are not sleeping. That's not a good deal.
No, but of course they need to actually show that they're alive.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
active.
But with requests, it's easier to show that they are alive.
Sure.
So I would definitely do that at some point, maybe when we have time and all of that. But let's.
We don't have that much time.
No, we don't have that much time right now. Like we have some other things to take care of as well. But thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It was wonderful.
I0, there is actually an on-off switch for requests. I just haven't used it.
See to the stars to write a Discord bot to perform overnight scheduled requests.
Of course he is.
Yeah, let's see how long we can go. Yeah, thank you, Metricardo, as well for the request. And really nice one to highlight too. And thank you everyone for requesting being with us and giving us all your love, which we are very flattered about. And this old man entered his next year on Monday, and unfortunately it wasn't a show day, so we didn't celebrate him as much as we should have right now. But
but it's like Matt Ricardo said just now, I think. He's a Gen Xer, so reacts a bit slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, he, I think, just said that.
Yes, he said that, indeed, at some point. And we love you guys still. And what else? Once again, happy birthday, Malthus and Marcel, somewhere out there, I think.
Yes, somewhere out there is a
Somewhere
Marcel.
out there. Yes, and next week we are not sure if something will happen or not on Thursday because, well, I am not going to be here in Swedenland, that's for sure. But we will see how or if we do anything. And
We shall see.
We shall see, indeed. And of course, those of you in Scandinavia, have a happy Midsummer Day tomorrow and enjoy the parties, the herring, the strawberry cake, the whatever. Yeah, I'm not talking to you. Other people can love herring, right?
No, they cannot.
Oh,
They are lying to themselves.
Okay, they will have surströmming instead for your enjoyment.
Much better.
Right. So anyway, yes, have a happy Midsummer weekend, and others have a happy weekend if you don't celebrate it that much. And we will see about next week. Boss Radio is always on, so Boss Radio schedule is always on our screen at the end of the show, as you know it. And look at that, what is going on there, because we have not only Ziduder on Saturday, but we have an SSSS Midsummer Special. Midsummer Special. I don't know what he refers to. Maybe it's hot, kind of. It's hot for him.
Secret Saturday something show.
Yeah, exactly. So Boss will be on Sunday. This is really good to know. And Matt Ricardo, of course, on Monday, and Cactus on Tuesday. Yes. And of course, again, Boss with the Hump Show.
On that Wednesday.
Yes. And that concludes the show for tonight. Thank you very much for joining in again. And
yes, thank you very, very much. It's been a pleasure.
And yes, Super Secret Sunday show of Boss. That's SSSS.
There we go. That's something
it's
show.
Great thing it's not two S's only. So I think it's...
yeah, it's better with more S's. It's always better.
Anyway, yes, thank you JLD as well for requesting this next ditty by Rock, which is Fallen Leaves, and this is our exit tune for tonight. Thank you everyone, take care. See you latest in 2 weeks.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you to patrons I0, Eivind, Sommersten, Berka SC, Glenn McNamee, Boyer, superhero donors, Maki Dingemans, Michael Go, Captain Chaos. Oh geez, that is going way too fast. So I need to actually do a bit of a cheat here. Jesus Christ, that went fast. I can't read it at that pace. That was way too fast. I thought I could keep up. But since I started, I'm gonna be damned if I don't finish this. So
Okay, so go on, and I'm gonna just start a nice chilly tune here. And
so
we are waiting.
yes, we got through the Patreons. And we have the superhero monthly donors on the Slay Radio homepage, slay.radio, Maki Dingemans, Michael Grow, Captain Chaos, Tekat, David Kolonisny. How do you pronounce that name? David Kolonisny.
Kolonitsny, yeah.
Okay. Nigel Turner, Rocky Howard, I think our longest donor ever. Well, not longest, obviously not what I meant. Let's move
Going
on.
well, Slaygon.
Yes, let's move on. Chris Curo and FS and the individual every now and then donors. We have Tony Fluke Viren, Brian Chapman, Alex Aris, Lawrence Hoare, and Rainy Goechi. And on Coffee, we had, on coffee.com, we had Juger Liljedal, Ziduder, Milasoft, ASDK, Gohanks, Chubby, and Forgotten Ears. And our Twitch subscribers are BeeZerk, Malthus, Denmarkian Type Device, aka ASDK, Quasar 247, 247?
Yes.
24/7 maybe. I don't know, Quasar 247 or Quasar 24/7. And of course, Berka SC. Thank you everyone. And here's the list scrolling by again, because why not? I still can't read at that pace. Well, not out loud. I can read at that pace, but not out loud.
But it was very ambitious. Thank you, Slaygon, and thank you all those lovely people supporting
Thank you
us.
very, very much. And good night.
Have a
Sleep
good
in
night.
tights.
Take care. Bye.